Well, this design I think could be improved a little. You'll notice that the design itself takes up relatively small amount of space. We're actually inhibited, if we double click here, we're inhibited by the need to put the plant schedule there. But if we bring the little box down and put it like so, and then come back onto the layout and then deactivate the layout, we've got a much better looking presentation. If we select our box, I need to hold the shift key down and just deselect the window. We've now got the window. We could move our presentation to the right of the sheet. I'll now unselect all. And if we went back into model space and just selected our north point, we could move our north point into a convenient spot there. And if we now go back to our layout here, and we right click and add a viewport here, I'll just set it over like so for the moment. It has its black background. That enables me to double click in there and then move my box. I'll zoom in. What we want to do now is create a second floating viewport that's going to hold the schedule. We'll display on the layout and see how we're going. We can deactivate that and then just select it and move it into position, and it fits rather nicely. Our border's not quite right. Let's see if we can get a little tighter. So we'll bring that down in. I think that's going to be a little better. We need to go slightly larger, perhaps another step, and display that on the layout. And that looks quite good. I'd like it to be, I think, I can move that to the right, so we'll deactivate it. Just get it there. Maybe move it up like so. Now we're not quite right. We'll come down. And there we have it. At that point, provided I'm happy with the layout, I can select it and make the color white. 255, 255, and there we are. And if we zoom extents, I think now we've got a better looking layout. On reflection, I think we could even move that frame up. Let's try it. And like so, we might well get away with being able to move the bit tricky when you've got that border in. You're probably better off to leave it to later. We might now be able to move that schedule down into that area on the sheet, and that looks pretty good, I think. Last little move of it, but we could even make sure that it was above, it being the frame there was above the tree. So let's come back here and we can pick this and say Tools, Draw Order, bring it to the front, and now when we come into here, our plant schedule is in fact above the tree. It's slightly annoying me. I can't quite find the right space. I'll do it again and put it back to where I originally had it. So I really do need clear area. And what I'm actually going to do is to get the rectangle and just move it out a little, and now I'm happy with that as a form of presentation. He says, and still now wants to move this down to center it on the sheet. That's a much better presentation. Not concerning ourselves at the moment with what scale that is, but it clearly shows the design to the client in a well set out and more magnified format.